And at NASCAR's fastest track, it's time to bring the action. And we've got our bat cam here with us at Michigan International as door-to-door goes Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, the pole man. Brad Keselowski has taken off. Final lap in the first stage here at Michigan International Speedway. Brad Keselowski, is he headed for his fourth stage victory of this 2017 season? Looks pretty good at the moment. He's got enough distance over Kevin Harvick down the back stretch. The way that he told Chris Devoda, Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty earlier, if he can win today, it would be the biggest win of his career. Well, he's a third of the way there almost. Stage one done, and the win to Brad Keselowski.
On these restarts, we're going to see the bottom lane wasn't that bad at the initial start of the race. Let's see how it is now.
Brad Keselowski takes the 2. Team Penske Ford to the front.
See some different players at the front there, Lee. Well, the 19 of Daniel Suarez chose not to pit under that yellow. That's how he got the track position up to the lead. So he has the oldest tires. Brad Keselowski has fresh right side tires.
By the way, we were praising the Furniture Row 77 of Eric Jones. Eric did not take any tires, fuel only on that last stop for the 77.
Meanwhile, Brad Keselowski coming back down pit road. We talked about the significance of a win, what it would mean to him here in Michigan. Today, he has led all but 7 laps of this race. He said he lost rear grip everywhere, but that was when the sun was out. When the clouds came out, the car got much better. Very happy with it in these cloudy conditions. They do make a small wedge adjustment for that 2-car, though.
Pit lane speed violation to Matt Kenseth. Too fast on pit road. So, with just 10 to go in the stage.
So Martin Truex Jr., he pitted a few laps before the 2 of Keselowski, and that little bit of difference has given him a solid 30-car length advantage over the 2. The 2 is actually going to fall all the way back to 4th behind Suarez, who also pitted earlier, and Kevin Harvick.
1.5 laps to go before the end of stage 2. Martin Truex Jr. is looking down the barrel of his 15th stage win of this season.
But I will say, though, while he does have about a 1.5-second lead over the 2 of Brad Keselowski, Brad has chopped that lead by almost a second in the last 3 laps. So he has definitely got more speed there. 0.7 of a second faster for Brad Keselowski than Martin Truex Jr. The 78 has studied this system well, and they are definitely orchestrating a plan to go deep into the playoffs, gaining all of those playoff points.
The Watkins Glen winner. I asked his crew chief Cole Pern the other day, what was all the fuss about? What was all the worry with the lack of fuel at the end of Watkins Glen? He said, yeah, surprised even us how much he had left at the end. Stage 2 goes to Martin Truex Jr. An extra playoff point, which now makes it, what, 35 playoff points? It's incredible how he just continues to rack them up. Keselowski made that inside line work. Let's see how it goes as we go back to racing here in Michigan. Battle for the lead. Martin Truex down on that low line. So it was a drag race on the initial lap of the restart, down into turn 3, of which the Ford of Brad Keselowski won. Now here comes another Toyota. Eric Jones on the inside of Kevin Harvick into 3. This is huge. Casey Kane, and look at that Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Daniel Suarez in the 19 was involved as well. How did it happen? Oh.
Well, I'm not clear. It's not clear to me if Casey thought he was clear and was trying to go up the racetrack to get in front of the 19, or if...
Still pretty far back in the corner. I'm not sure if he was steering it up or if he was chasing the car up. This would be a good view on board with Daniel Suarez. You hear Daniel out of the gas. He knows the 5 is coming up, and he knows the 5 isn't clear. He tries to lift out of the gas, but it's too late, and the 5 comes across his nose.
Let's go here in Michigan. Jamie McMurray up on that high side trying to round up Eric Jones. Unsuccessful on that occasion. Here comes Keselowski, popping out of the draft, down on that low line. He's got an inside opportunity on Matt Kenseth.
That's a dangerous place to be, though. You see him slide up the racetrack, how loose it gets. We talked about that side force. Brad Keselowski had given it all up running the bottom of the racetrack.
Oh, Logano's high, really high. Did he get a nudge from Denny Hamlin?
And see, it stacked everybody up behind him. Can't believe they didn't make contact.
Need to get an update on the car that is in the lead of this race at the moment, but does need to see the pits one more time. Marty, tell us more about Kyle Busch.
A lot of pacing going on in the 18 pit right now, Lee. Adam Stevens told Kyle a moment ago, we're 10 laps short, so they're going to have to pit with about 6 laps to go, or 10 laps to go, and get fuel in this 18 car, but they can do a splash and go. As Steve mentioned, though, what would really help them out is a caution, and they're talking about one possibly being on the racetrack right now.
It might be. It's involving the 22 of Joey Logano. What has happened to the Team Penske Ford?
Right front tire's down.
This is going to be a big changing point in the race. If this 22 can make it back to pit road with that tire staying on the car, then this track will stay green. But if a piece of debris comes off and this caution comes out, it'll change the entire complexion here with 15 to go.
Joey Logano said earlier this weekend, I enjoy the pressure. I know the pressure's on trying to make the playoffs, but I enjoy the pressure. Well, that pressure has now intensified with only 3 races remaining after this, and that 22 Ford is not in good shape. Let's go one final time here in Michigan. The 78 of Truex Jr. has his teammate in tow. Eric Jones. Kenseth on the inside. Chase Elliott goes around the high side. Kenseth makes that low line work.
Martin Truex Jr. came out of that restart zone like a bullet, Lee.
And that's why he is where he is. Look at that. It's the Furniture Row cars, 1 and 2. Larson goes down low. Kyle Busch tags in behind. Tell you what, Larson has got some momentum here. Ryan Newman down on that low side. Two of the future faces of NASCAR. 2 who will be around for a long time. Speaking of going around, we've got a caution. Michael McDowell, Paul Menard.
Okay, we're rolling here. Lock it down, lock it down.
Lee, I told you, you mentioned that overtime line.
Well, there is the guy who has completed 99.1% of the laps of the season, higher than anybody else, Michael McDowell.
Over here, don't tear it up.
What went down between himself and Paul Menard? The Levine Family Racing 95. Let's have a look.
You see Paul Menard underneath Michael McDowell. Same thing we've seen all day. You're just underneath another car, side by side. You just do not have the grip. All the air gets pulled off your car. Paul Menard just got up the racetrack and got into the side of him. We've seen this over and over and over. They haven't all ended in wrecks, but there's been many close calls.
Let's go! Larson's trying to split him. He's in between the two Toyotas. He bounces off Martin Truex Jr. right in front of Matt Kenseth, and he's on the low line. Kyle Larson with a blinding restart. Has Truex got anything for him down the back straight? Trevor Bayne in the 6-2. What a great start from the Roush Fenway driver. Coming to the line, and once Kyle Larson crosses here to get the white, it will be final. White flag to the 42 Chip Ganassi racing driver. Less than 2 miles to go. There's a hat trick on the line.
Oh my God! Give me one more set of corners, buddy, then you can celebrate all you want, bud.
One more set of corners, buddy. Kyle Larson got back here at 2:45 this morning after coming second in Knoxville. There is no second place here. Kyle Larson coming to the line with Truex chasing will win his 3rd time in a row here in Michigan.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job.
All this.
I want a show like you've never put on before here. I'm so proud of you.
And all the excitement, all this excitement with Kyle Larson and his team, dejection with Matt Kenseth and his team. Saw Matt Kenseth on the bottom of 3 wide. He must have had a tire go down. He is going to finish in 24th position.
3rd Monster Energy Cup Series win this year, and 3rd in a row.
It's pretty awesome when your car owner comes on and says, make it 3 wide on the outside. You know, you have permission if you bring it home on a wrecker or bring it home with a checkers.
What a storied weekend. Here's Rutledge Wood, he's right there.
Kyle Larson burning it down at the start-finish line, 3rd in a row here at Michigan. That restart was everything. Kyle, how did you do that?
I have no idea. I was running a few options through my head of what to do if I got a good jump, and that was one of them, and it worked out perfect. So I can't believe it happened. We were struggling all day. Definitely not as good as we were the last 2 times we won here, but we persevered and had some good restarts there at the end.
What do you want to say to your fans right now?
This is
Chip Ganassi getting in there.
Just clocked me in the head there. I want to thank him for finding me in 2011, bringing me up from USAC ranks to race for him. I want to thank all my fans as well. This has been an incredible week for me. To be able to go run the Knoxville Nationals yesterday, run second to Donnie Schatz, and then come here and win and beat Martin Truex, who is the Donnie Schatz right now. So definitely a week I'll never forget.